7 seconds.
Carl's told me that this is mainly a in-house group, pretty much all of his people, and then a friend of mine from Liverpool's here. That means something. That means that I can actually teach you JKD instead of the kind of thing where you try to, if you don't want anybody to learn anything, you teach them too much. So, a lot of times I go to a seminar and I throw through 5 million different things, and then you come out going, what the hell did I do here? So JKD is very, very technical. There's a way to do it, and there's a reason there's a way to do it. And what we're going to really work on is how to make JKD work in the real world. The idea behind it is about controlling 2 things: time and distance. And is there a stick here? Somebody has a stick. Let me try to explain some things to you. The idea of JKD started off with Wing Chun. Okay, it started off with Wing Chun in Seattle with a few northern Chinese kicks. Bruce discovered that it was somewhat limiting. Okay, now I'm going to be 65 this month, so I got to hurry up and teach this stuff before I take a dirt nap. So what we wanted to do is, Bruce then discovered it was limited because of footwork. It was limited because of structure. Okay, and I'll try to explain what that structure is so you understand where JKD came from. So he added Western boxing to it, which had more curved lines and more things there. And then he discovered, I don't know how the heck he came up, but he discovered Western fencing. And he looked at Western fencing books and said to himself, I can make my front hand like a sword. And if I did that, I could be able to use the techniques of Western fencing in Jeet Kune Do. If I called it Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepted fist, which comes from Western fencing. A lot of Jeet Kune Do that you're going to learn today is Western fencing. So there's some basic ideas about Western fencing. The idea is, one is if I have my hand like this is why we have a strong hand forward. Now if your left hand is as strong as your right hand, it doesn't matter. Bruce told Bob Bremer, my JKD comes from Danny Nisano, a little bit from Ted Wong and Daniel Lee, but a whole bunch of it from Bob Bremer. Because Bob was working on just learning how to win the fight. Bruce told him, listen, the best way to win a fight is just reach over and knock him out. Bruce was a little guy trying to get a lot of power. And so there's a way he worked at developing power. And that's what we want to get at today. Now, there's a couple of ideas just from Western fencing. One is, if he's here and I have my epic foil like this, pointing right at him, now he moves towards me, and it's kind of difficult. So what you want to do is you want to leave your hand back. So, I'm here. My hand then is exactly that way. My hand is not over here, it's not up here like I saw 90% of you. It's not over here, it's pointing directly at him. So now when he moves, you hit him. And you have to hit him with the right distance, the right torque, the right power to knock him out. Okay, that's the whole point behind this stuff. So what I want to do then is the idea that comes from Western fencing is simply this: distance. Any good Western fencer knows that if I'm in a position right here, where all I have to do is go like that and touch him, he cannot block me. Because there's a moment of reaction time he has to react to. Here it comes. If I'm in here, there's no way he's going to block it. So in terms of fencing, you have what's called the critical distance line. And that means you're out here. Now, at this point, I have to step towards him. But he can then intercept my attack. Okay? Stance is very critical. Who's this? Thank you, sir. Stance is very, very critical in JKD. Stance for power and stance for how you use things. Try to give you an example here. The four corners, which you may not know about, this comes from Western fencing. We have 2 swords. There's 2 sticks over here. Try to explain it that way. Okay. All right, this will work. If we're in a position like this in a Wing Chun stance, and Carl's in a like Western fencing stance like this, and he's got his sword right here, and he comes straight at me, he's going to get me. Even if I go to hit him too, see simultaneous block and hit, taunts out, when he comes towards me, block and hit. What happens there? Now, if I'm in a JKD stance, and he comes towards me, you see what happens? I don't have to even block him. The idea of intercepting is that I don't have to block by using my body correctly. Okay? So, what that basically means is that if his punch is here, his punch is right here, my foot is here, my stance is here. Now when his punch comes, it's right here, I don't have to duck, I don't have to move. All I have to do is transfer the weight onto my front leg, and you see it's missing. Okay? It's missing. And people go, what the hell? So he goes, missing. So you see, if I was doing Wing Chun in the old days, he would think I would do a taunt and a hit this way. But from here, so like that, so hit. Okay? That's JKD. I'm intercepting his attack. Now I intercept his attack on his preparation. Okay? His preparation is, most people have preparation. Anybody know what preparation is? What's preparation?
Make everybody fall back.
Something moves. It could be, he makes a facial expression. It could be his eyes. It could be something. And preparation for most people, if you turn around and watch Carl punch, the preparation for most people is going to be this, the elbow. Because the elbow's out. Now when you push a car, or when you lift weights, do you do it with your elbow out or your elbow's in? Elbow's out or in? Why? So why would you punch with your elbow out? Okay? Think about it. Not only is it more visible, so when you see, if you look at this now, and you see the elbow out, and there's the punch, or the elbow in, you see it's hard to see. So you want to get rid of all your preparation. So then you have, when we're talking Western fencing, you have attack on his preparation. So Carl's here, and Carl hit. That was his attack on preparation. Okay? Attack on development. The attack that's coming, boom, is right there, right before it gets there. I hit it right about here. Attack on completion is, it's right there. Right at this moment, it's right there. And then attack on recovery, the hand goes back, and you hit it. So we work through those different types of attack. Most of this stuff, you guys, how many guys have been doing JKD before for a while? Most of this will be totally new to you, because it's really not taught. Daddy and his son made a promise to Bruce not to teach JKD out openly, and he's pretty much gone along with it. It's pretty much been that way. He teaches what's called Jun Fan martial arts, which is good, but the real essence of Jeet Kune Do isn't really taught. He told a few of us, because we didn't promise Bruce to go ahead and teach it, so that's what we've been trying to do. Okay, let's talk about stance now, first of all, then I'll have you guys practice how to get power in a punch. Let me have that focus glove over there. I think it's on the table. We don't really call it a jab. The jab is a boxing term. A straight lead punch is there's two ways of hitting it, snappy and heavy. We're going to work on both of them. A snappy punch is a punch that relies on speed for its power. Okay? A heavy punch, Bruce called it an uncrispy punch. It's the difference between a heavy punch or a heavy kick would be the rear-legged tie kick or the wheel, the spinning wheel kick in Taekwondo. Those are heavy because they rely on weight. A hook kick or a snappy kick, an inverted kick is based on speed and the snap of the punch. Bruce told Bremer, you learn to hurt him with a flick. So both are good. We use both punches. Now, when I'm sitting here and I'm standing here and I'm punching, okay, and I've got my hand here, what moves first? What do I move first to hit with? Why?
It's supposed to be the one that's
No, you guys are absolutely wrong. Yes. Almost below that. The foot. Now, why do I move the hand first in JKD? When do I move the hand first? I'm trying to make you guys think. Stepping forward. Look, if I'm here, stationary, and move my hand first, I'm not going to be getting any power. All I'm doing is doing a jab. When I'm stationary, the power moves towards me. See, I transfer the weight onto the front leg. If by moving this foot. That's one of the reasons he heals up. So I move the foot, and I get the power that way. Now, if I'm moving forward, and I move forward and then move my hand, that's too big a motion. You can see it. So the power then comes from the punch when I'm moving forward. If I'm stationary, the power comes from the transfer of the weight here. When I'm stepping forward, where does the power come from? The weight. So I hit before what? Before my foot touches the ground. So my weight is still moving forward. So the idea of I transfer the weight here. Now I transfer the weight by moving it forward. I hit before the foot touches the ground. And by having the hand go first, which is purely Western fencing, I can do a smaller movement to gain the distance for the power. And then hit before the foot touches the ground. Very easy to understand, but very, very difficult to do. Now let's talk about where the front foot is and where the rear foot is. You're a big lad. Where are you, second? Okay, just kind of stand like this, all right? Yeah, okay. Now everybody knows about the 1-inch punch, right? Okay, this is the no-inch. All you do is put your hand here. Now by transferring the weight onto my front foot, so you feel that. And that wasn't even hard. Let me borrow one more guy. Let's see you, you're a big guy. Okay. Now all you're doing, if my foot is here, see how my front foot is turned here? If I go to do that, what's going to happen is my hips goes back, and he doesn't feel that. But if my foot is straight, and I transfer the weight, feel the difference? Okay, that's the first drill I want you to do. And you might want to put a focus glove up for the ladies or something to put a hand on the chest. So all I want you to do, Carl, for a second. All I want you to do is, I want you to have a stance where, from a distance, you can have the foot here, you can have the foot here, but in close, you want this heel at a 45, and you want this foot a little bit straighter, not totally straight, but not here, but a little bit like that, okay? You actually want to have about 60% of the weight, 65% of the weight on the rear leg, and I got this right out of Bruce's notes, to 30-35% on the front leg, so that you have this front foot freer. You can do that, okay? Then what you do is you just twist, and the hip has to go not like that, but like this. So that the hip goes into here and the weight is transferred on the front foot. Now the faster you transfer the weight to the front foot, the more power you get. So just stand straight. You put the hand here, see, foot straight. This here, all I'm going to do is just that. Okay? That's a no-inch punch. Because a 1-inch punch, I mean, that's nothing to that. That's really just nonsense. You're here, and I just put it from here. See, if I do it this way, you don't feel it. I want you guys to just try it with the foot at whatever angle this is. Put the hand here, and just transfer the weight. Okay? That's just the idea of how to punch. Let's do that in a bar with somebody, or somebody comes up and says, I scratched his car or something. Do I want to go like this? No, it's an aggressive move. It's stupid. It tells the guy this guy knows something. And also, I'm from the U.S. I'm from America, so the guy goes, you know that, huh? Shit, boom! You know, so you don't show anybody you know anything, okay? So you're like this, naturally. Then after he moves towards me, boom, you know. Once he moves towards me, that's an attack. So we say, okay, I'll be glad to talk to you, but stay right there. This is my critical distance line, what's called the fighting measure, which simply means to touch me has to move towards me, okay? Distance, I'm trying to explain how important distance is. If you notice, like the UFC guys, okay, you notice that distance is crucial there. And I had a chance, Eric Paulson had me go up work with one day with Ken Shamrock before he fought this guy named Chemo. We were working on using the palm for power, but that gets off the thing to talk about that. For example, is distance. From right here, Carl, his stands right there. That's as long as this can go. Now, without moving his front leg, he can have your rear leg. And what's going to touch me is just the toes of his thing there. You know, it's not going to get the shin from the Thai boxing, okay? So, to really hurt me, he's got to step towards me. That's the fighting nature, okay? And that is, I can justify that as an attack, okay? So he moves towards me, and I go like that, and I tell the judge, all I did was say, please don't come towards me, walk into my hand. You know, 5 times. But, you know, things like that happen. So you've got to be aware of the legalities of things too, okay? Now, so that idea there. Now let's say that this guy is a grappler, and I have my distance here, you see. As he's coming towards me, he's coming so fast, a grappler type guy. They're coming quick. See, all of a sudden your distance, your timing is off. I can hit him, but I usually run through that because I'm not going to hit him on the end of my punch. So Carl, his grappling thing, now you feel pretty good coming at me, right? Yeah, good, okay. Now you feel it. So you're coming at me. Boom! You see the difference? It's all about distance. It's all about distance. So that you'll see in the UFC, because they're smart guys, they start their attack and their charge from there. They don't start it from here. Because this is too easy for the boxer then to intercept the attack. Because the distance is going to be absolutely perfect. Because when we talk about the punch, you get power in the punch. I want a 1 to 2 inch penetration with the elbow snap. Okay, I want to snap from the elbow to get that penetration on the snappy punch. Okay, that's it. Now, in terms of a stance here, you want the rear foot at a 45-degree angle. You want the front foot a little bit, from distance. If I'm far away, I'm going to be here. When I'm moving in and stuff, then you see the foot straight for the punch. So it's no one way or the other. Now, how wide should the stance be?
Shoulder width.
Could be shoulder width, but the best way to test it for your students is you want to be able to take a step with your lead foot at least 6 inches to 12 inches, 8 inches, somewhere around in there, so you get a lead step. So see, from here, I can take a lead step. If I'm here, that's too narrow. Here, I can take a lead step and come back without losing my balance. Now, if my stance is here and I take that lead step, see, all of a sudden I'm off balance. So it's a lot about balance. So from here, it's about a little bit over shoulder width, and stepping back, stepping back. Now, the front foot, the front foot and the rear heel are on the same line. Ted Wong teaches from the middle of the heel. We teach from the heel to the toe. So anywhere along here is okay. But watch how critical it is. If you stand here and go on the line, so you've got your rear heel on the line and the front foot on the line, and you've got this at a 45, and I push you, you're fairly strong. By just bringing that foot over here, see, you're not strong at all. And I saw a lot of you guys are actually standing like that. All right? Or if you stand with the foot over that way too much, you leave that over. So what you want to do is you want to kind of have a ability. Now the heel is up for a lot of distance, okay? The heel is up for distance. In other words, from here now, if I put flat and I go to hit it, and even though that's about as far as I'm going to go with my punch, remember I want that to be as long as possible. With my heel up, by turning that, so I get that distance. Okay? Heel down, distance, heel up, distance. Okay? That's one idea. Second idea is this heel up allows me from here, I can get, I have a good strong base like Shotokan karate. And you see, any art comes from structure. The structure of Shotokan karate, I used to take Shotokan karate, Shorin karate. It is a strong stance so that you get this good power in your reverse punch. But what I want to do is I want to be able to hit moving forward hard, fast. So this allows me no quick push. For example, if you're, how many have done track? Okay, coming out of this, okay. When you're going to do track, you start off with a foot like this and a foot flat.
Heel.
Huh? The heel up, right? So you get a fast push. Fencers have their heel up. Therefore, along as their foot is usually the 90-degree angle. We use the 45. Now also, it can be used then to make yourself elusive. So as the punch comes, by just twisting that, I've slipped inside. Just twisting that, I've slipped inside. And also in my distance here, this is actually crosses the arm. This is straight rear because it doesn't cross the arm. This is a cross because it does. Also, when he goes and punches, now go ahead and punch fast. 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 That's using the heel and toe sway. So when you punch, my heel went back and forward. So slow motion now. See? Out and back. Out and back. All right, that's heel and toe sway. So it goes here. Just like that. Okay? left hand, no, right. And left knee. Okay. Now the reason it's this way, and I'll switch stance, and not that way, is I'm relating always to this vertical body. Okay. So when I do the punch thing now, what I want to do is the idea of getting power in the punch is simply the farther the punch travels, the more speed it picks up. And so I want to hit the person on the end of my punch. Okay? And you ever watch boxing where a guy gets hit and he goes back? That's a heavy punch, like a close distance punch. You ever see like a Joe Louis fight, the boxer Joe Louis? When he hits a guy, the guy drops straight down. It's a snapping punch. All right? So to get that, what I want to do, and I'm not going to use any power, any strength at all I'm going to do is transfer. What I want is a 1-inch penetration, okay? A 1-inch penetration, like that. 1-inch penetration. If I go here and try to do that, I'm pushing. What I want to do is just hit it with that snap. I'm not using any power at all. I'm not even using any speed. Just using that snap. Now, Bruce taught people at the beginning you had a 1-pound weight in each hand. And you only did about 3 or 4 punches. But what you did, you tried to get the snap of the elbow. All right? Now, there's another thing that's weird about the punch. I want you to get with your partner and do a punch. Hold your hand like this. Here, Carl, right there. I'm going to do it with Carl first so you can see. In a straight lead punch, how's the fist? How's the fist feel? Good Wing Chun punch, it's not JKD. Okay, now what I want you to do is this. Hold your hand out like that, okay? And get in a good strong stance. What I want you guys to do is to just take your palm and hit it. See where that starts the body? Then I want you to turn it to a vertical. Hit it. See how much stronger that is? Hitting with the bottom 3 knuckles. Bruce discovered the last year he was taught in Chinatown, turn it at a 45-degree angle, and then feel it. Don't take any teacher's word for anything, okay? Just actually what you need to do is to test it, to try it. See how strong that is. See how that isn't. See how that's strong, but not as strong as this. Try it, okay? Hey, Barry, you're a good example of that. Make a good fist. Okay, turn your fist and look at this guy's fist. Everybody come around over here, okay? On this side, over there. Now, if he goes to hit me, what's he gonna land with? The knuckles or that? This. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna be broken, okay? So that you gotta find some way to get that down. See how mine is? See how it's flat? And the knuckles stand out more than that? Okay, that's because I trained it to do that. So when I hit, this is a flat surface, not like that. Okay, now you do that by basically doing just push-ups on a wall and roll it so that it just gets to bend down. That's all you have to do. It's no big deal. And just really work on making it so. Now if it's like this, for God's sakes, never punch anybody in the head.